This is going to be the ultimate New Year's episode.
Hi guys, it's Emily.
And it's Kaylee.
And this is Picture Perfect.
Hello, you guys. Happy 2024.
Oh my. It's 2024.
It's the new year.
It's the new year. It is not, like, okay, it feels like it, but I think it's just me because, like, I had a week off from work and now I'm, like, returning back to work. So I'm like, ugh. But I feel like I haven't sat down. Well, I have a little bit, but I haven't sat down to be like, reflection.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I was gonna do it this weekend because, like, it was a lot, like, because I had people over for New Year's, so I didn't actually have, like, time to myself, and so, like, what was that, Monday? So, yeah, time to myself, like, literally Monday, and then today's Tuesday, so, like, I haven't had a chance to, like, sit down and reflect, so I don't have anything planned this weekend, so that's what I was gonna do, and I'm gonna make a little dream board.
Oh.
This is kind of going into, like, what we're our episode, sorry, but, like, I have stuff that I wanna do, so, like, I have it planned, I just haven't done it yet, so to me, it doesn't feel like the new year yet, like, the motivation you get where you're like, "I'm gonna do this, you know?
Yeah.
I'll probably get it this weekend.
I feel the opposite. It's funny because I feel like every single year I make it a huge priority to write down all of my goals,
Yeah.
reflect on the previous year, make a vision board, like do the whole shebang. And I did do that in a sense, and we're going to get into that with this episode. This is going to be the ultimate New Year's episode for you guys.
So it's like, sorry, when you said ultimate, I wanted to be like, bang, 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 firework, noise effect.
We'll get into all of that, but I haven't necessarily done what I normally do, yet I feel really good about this year. We were kind of saying that 2023 was like a filler episode, a filler year. Like, I feel like I didn't go
this filler episode for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely filled with events,
some trials and tribulations.
But I feel like I didn't go into it being necessarily excited or thinking that it was going to be anything out of the ordinary. And I feel like, honestly, for the past few years, I haven't gone into it thinking that. Like, I haven't had a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of just been hoping I'd be pleasantly surprised, and then I just haven't been.
So you have a good feeling now? I
have a really good feeling, and I feel like this is a collective thought.
I feel like you're about to get, like, famous or something, and I'm going to be like, when did this happen? And she's going to be like, do you remember when I had that good feeling on January, what's today, 2nd? Wait, say the 2nd?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was right.
I thought it was the 3rd. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it is a collective thought. I feel like everyone on social media right now is saying that it's going to be the next 2016.
Oh, I freaking hope so.
Like, I know everyone is like, 2016 was their year. Like, it was such a good year. I was in high school in 2016, but I couldn't even tell you, like, what I was doing.
I couldn't either. I was from 16. But I mean, I get what they're saying. Like, it's like you want a good year. It feels like nostalgic, where the sense of, like, I just feel like you have, like, that childhood, like, excitement.
Yes.
Like, you don't have the light drained out of your eyeballs from life.
But it just seemed to collectively be a really good year for everyone. And I honestly couldn't tell you anything that happened that year.
Oh, I couldn't either. I'd have to sit and reflect. But all I know is that my 2023 was like a filler plus some, like I said, some sprinkle instead of, like, you know, the sprinkle lady. It's like sprinkle of, like, not goodness. It's like, here's some shit. Want some more? Anyways,
what are you talking about?
I don't. Like, I'm talking about, like, my year has just been like, instead of, like, a lot of good things happening. Oh, sorry. That was a TikTok thing where it was like, I see the sprinkle lady is, like, basically, like, I don't know, like, you're supposed to stand up for yourself, so, like, sprinkle, whatever. But when I did that, I reminded me of that and said, whatever. Hopefully you guys get the reference. If not, it's fine. It's fine. But my brain just kind of, like, was like, what am I doing? Sprinkle. So sorry. But I'm just hoping that this year's gonna be a lot better, which is why I'm, like, looking forward to actually, I feel like normally I'm the opposite. I don't actually sit and do goals like I did at the beginning. Like, when I was younger, I was like, I'm gonna lose weight and I'm gonna go to the gym. And then, like, a weekend, I'm done. I don't keep to it. Mm-hmm. But this year, I think, as shitty of a year as I had, I actually want to sit down and be like, what are some goals that I want, like, big goals, and then, like, I'm going to break it down and stuff like that, because I feel like I kind of just coasted out of this year.
I'm going to try to articulate this in the best way I can, and it might not make any sense, but yeah. I feel like your purpose for goal setting or like any goal you have for the new year isn't the traditional, like, it's the new year, I need to set goals for myself. It's, I had a shitty year and I don't want to repeat it. And
Yeah.
I feel so much like just wiser from what I went through. And like, I feel like a different person than I was. And I need to meet that version of myself.
I was about to say,
I feel like that's what's fueling it, not necessarily like, oh, it's 2024, let me sit down and make a vision board, because that's what you do.
Yeah, I would say that's most of my motivation, except for like part of it is like I feel like there's so much that I actually wanted to achieve, but I didn't because I was so disorganized and I just kind of let things fall to the side. And then I'm just like, it's whatever. And then, of course, like I got handed like just a really crappy hand this year. And then that took effect. And so, like, I felt like I couldn't actually meet my potential, if that makes sense. So it's like this year, I, as much as like sometimes I want to be negative about it, I want to be like, all right, it's a new year. We're just gonna suck it up, put it in like a bottle, put it off to the side and be like, all right, this is what I learned. This is how I could use it. And then, what goals do and just feel more organized, I would say. Like, what are the goals, and write them down. Cause I feel like maybe I did that last year, but that is long gone. I don't even know where that went. Like, we had a vision board. I know we'd made one.
Yeah, we did. Actually.
But like, where is she? I don't know.
I don't think I have mine either.
See what I mean?
But I don't make them. Are you gonna make a physical one? Because I just do it on like Pinterest.
Well, I think when we did it last year, it was like a really
good. Like magazine cutouts, but like this year,
yeah.
Are you gonna do like an actual physical one, or just?
I think I want to make something a little bit more aesthetic. I know, just because I feel like it felt more like a kid craft, so I didn't want to like hang it up anywhere in my room because it didn't match anything else in my room, so it looked a little So I think like maybe I'll make something and like print it out, just something that I think, or at least just something to put on my mirror, like little sticky notes or something.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like I put it off to the side or hung it up, and then when I moved, I put it off to the side, and then I never saw it again. And like it's true. It's like when you see little things throughout the day, like you'll subconsciously start to remember, and it's like, I don't know. Like I said, I think I left so much of what I want to do just like slide.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense. But
I feel like it's funny because we said this is the ultimate New Year's episode, and we should be coming on here with like full energy, positivity, being like, you got this, it's a new year, like, let's get ready for it. And we're like, yeah, 2023 was a filler episode. It was kind of shitty.
Well, it's but the thing is it's
I didn't
real.
meet any of my goals. Like, the mood has been brought down, and it's a bit negative in here.
But that's like, okay, but at least a bunch of stuff that I wrote down for this episode is hopefully motivating, but it also just it's real, right? Because I mean, I feel like everyone's always like,
oh, well, I was gonna say, yeah, it's funny,
be motivated and write down 10 goals and do this, and like I feel like sometimes people go through just really shit years, and then they're just like, I don't have time for this, like I don't, or at least I don't have like the excitement for this or the enthusiasm. So you don't have to be like, oh my god, 2024 is gonna be my year and I'm gonna do this and this and I'm gonna be blah 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 blah. Like,
yeah, you can just be like, I just want to be better than last year.
Yeah. And then I think it's always really good to reflect.
Better than last year.
I mean, at this point, like the bar is down here. It needs to be up here.
Yeah.
But
no, I definitely think it's real, and a lot of people can probably relate. I just think it's funny.
Yeah, we're like the ultimate episode. So it's a shit year. So anyways.
Okay, before we go ahead and get into any New Year stuff, though, I feel like we did a little bit of catching up.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't seen you in like a week.
I know.
Christmas happened, New Year's Eve happened.
Mm-hmm.
So how was your holiday?
It was good. Got to see a bunch of family, and that comes with all the family drama. Just having everybody in one house. I love how
whenever we talk about family, you always mention family drama, and I'm like,
because it's never peaceful. Not in my house. I know
that's such a common thing when you get together for the holidays, or you come home, or you're with your family. Everyone's like, yeah, it comes with good things and bad things and family drama, and I'm like,
you don't have any?
Me and my grandparents are chilling. Like,
that's very nice. That's very peaceful. With my house, it's literally chaos. Like chaos.
You have more people to your family, I guess.
I mean, yeah, there's like 5 of us. And then we had some of my dad's family over, and then one of my cousins on like my mom's side. So it was nice. But on Christmas Day, we had 4 dogs in the house. And the reason I say 4 is because I am now a mother. I'm a mother to a golden retriever puppy. It was an impulse buy.
Single
But he
mom
is
who
the,
works 2
like-
jobs.
Exactly. He is the apple of my eye. I love him so much. I'm going to pick a picture and I'll put it up on the screen.
His name is Moose.
His name is Moose, or AKA Moose Goose, or Little Chicken Nugget, or Moosey Goosey Lucy, and a lot more names. He doesn't know his name if you can't tell. But he's about 8 weeks now. We're still working on potty training, but he knows sit and touch. So I'm trying to train him to use a bell
Did you
to.
say it's a golden retriever puppy?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. And so I got him from a breeder, and I did think about adopting because a lot of people say like adopt, don't shop, but I knew that I wanted like a golden retriever or like a Sheltie or a border collie, kind of like very fluffy, very family friendly dogs. And then I also was going back and forth. I'm like, do I want an older dog? Do I want a younger dog? And I think I wanted a puppy in my 20s because I have the energy for it, and I'm not technically like tied down. I don't have kids. Like I have the time to train, and so that's what made me think of puppy. And then
I feel like that's the exact opposite of what a lot of people would think.
really,
Yeah, because I feel like in your 20s, there's so much you want to do. Like
that's
you're
true. That's
going out,
true.
you're traveling, you're meeting new people. Like you don't want to be tied down. Like people feel like they don't have the time, and then when
That
they
is
settle down with
true.
kids and family, they're like, "Oh, I have the time."
See, but that's true.
Very
But the thing
backwards
is the one thing that I wanted to do was I really wanted to train my dog. I wanted to like them know a bunch of commands, like very well trained.
Yeah.
And because I want to be able to like I think it was just because I was at a bar in Wilmington and this guy was teaching it like doing sign language to his dog, and the dog was like sitting and laying
Is this
down.
what sparked?
I think so, because I was like, I want to do that with my dog. Like that is ingenious.
You were like, "I want a dog."
Yeah. I think I want to learn sign language.
Is it our episode where I said a way to get through the winter uglies is going for walks with your dog?
Okay, but that is true. 1,010%. Okay, because I thought that maybe I get a cat. Like they're easy. Like if I need to be gone for a while.
I really saw that in your future. I have to say, pleasantly surprised because I love Moose, but like I was shocked.
I mean, I FaceTimed her and I literally was like,
yeah, I was like, no, like this girl has been looking at cats. I really thought you were gonna come home with a kitty.
I think that like I was overthinking it, so I made an impulse and I was like, I'm just gonna do it. Like Sarah had found a breeder and I was like, I'm just gonna do it. And I went and I looked, and I mean, I was like terrified. I was like, oh my God, what if I'm a horrible mother? What if like the dog doesn't like me?
Did that set in before or after though?
I would say it was like in before, but then because like dogs are a lot more work, and it's not like a cat. Like I feel like a
I know,
cat
that's
like
why I was like,
they can, because cats can like coexist. Like you may not get along. Like I have cats that are kind of not very like lovey-dovey at my parents' house, but like you can coexist. You know what I'm saying? But like if a dog doesn't like you, it's very hard to coexist because like you're taking care of them, like you're feeding them, you're taking them out. Like so I was just like, oh my gosh. And so, but I don't know. I saw him and I was like, he's so cute, and I was like, you're coming home with me. Which I think so far, I mean, he was working on the potty training, which is in itself a whole thing. But I think he's like one of the best decisions I made. Like there's days when I wouldn't go out like and see the sun, and he gets me out. Like I'm walking, I'm playing with him outside. So I'm actually doing a lot more like movement throughout my day than like I was before. And I feel like I wouldn't have done that if I had a cat.
that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, and two, I think for me, something that I'm working on is like this is like opening up deep kind of, I guess. But like I
what we do
struggle
best.
with like being alone in the sense of like being by myself at home because I'll get FOMO, or I'm like, oh, should I be doing something? Or like just feeling like I can just actually exist.
Mm.
And granted, with a puppy, you're not just existing, you're always watching them. But I just felt like it was like it's been nice because like I don't mind being home like now because like I'll watch a movie and I have Moose with me. You know, I don't feel as lonely, which I love.
Yeah.
So like it makes me more inclined to like do stuff on my own, which has been great. Like whenever I need to go run, I mean, I took him. Granted, I don't think you're supposed to. I saw a sign, but I did anyways. But I took him to Costco with me in my purse. Granted, I can't do this when he's 60 pounds, but I took him in my purse. I mean, I'll have to show you. And I hate to be that girl, but we created an Instagram for him and Milo, and I love it so much.
It's so cute.
Let me see.
No,
Like,
that's why I got. Oh, baby.
he was so cute.
So cute. No, that's why I got animals. Because I was like, I work from. Well, it's really nice one that you work from home because
Yes.
not everyone has the luxury of doing that, and a dog is a lot of work. So that'll be good for training purposes, and yeah, that's a good setup. But yeah, you do feel kind of lonely when you work from home, or like even if you have roommates, it's like you just want something in the apartment with you. And when you have an animal, there's more life in your apartment. Like it just, and I can say from experience of like having an animal, it's not having an animal, it's an abrupt change. Like you feel so empty once you get used to one.
Oh yeah.
That honestly don't think I could ever not have an animal in my household again.
Yeah. Well, you
even when I have a family.
I was gonna say, even when you're in bed and watching a movie, like you know that they're out like either playing, and you just feel more comforted, even if they're not in your space. And then if they want to cuddle, even better. And it's like,
and then when you're home alone, like you're not that scared someone's gonna break in. You're like,
I mean,
my cats will protect me.
I was gonna say, I don't know what my puppy gonna do because he's gonna be like, oh my god, Bebo. But you know what? It feels a little bit better. And to be fair, Milo, my sister's dog, he's starting to growl when people walk by the window. And everyone's gonna be, I like it because one, it lets me know that there's people coming by because like we're right on the first floor, so like we have a Ring doorbell. But like, what is that gonna do? Stop, halt.
Yeah,
you know. So like when he growls, I like it, but he's not ferocious by any means. If you plan on breaking in, disregard that. He's so ferocious. But anyways, no, he's one of the best decisions like I made. Like he's awesome. But I will say here, he's like, or not. He's like, my money tends to just go out the window.
Yeah.
Like buying dog food and toys, and granted, I mean, he's spoiled, so.
Yeah. Also, you just got him, so there's definitely more.
And he's got his first vet visit on Friday. Oh, I know. Baby boy.
Growing up so quickly.
I know. I should put like an Amazon list together, so if you guys want to buy him toys and stuff, he can be like the podcast mascot.
It'd be so cute. Hey, you're just regarding my babies.
That is true. But they won't sit with us though. I could get them to sit with us. But you know what we'll do is we'll buy little shirts for all three of them. All three of them. We'll have a photo shoot.
So cute. Well, I guess this would be a good time to give my news.
Yes, I was about to say, let's segue and get away from mine because I keep like just rambling.
I'm turning into a crazy cat lady.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, what do you think my news was?
I don't know. I was just thinking about you were gonna go through your holiday, but like I just spaced
no.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean Christmas was Christmas. I just spent it with family. It was good. But no, the real news is that I got another kitten.
We're just getting animals up in here.
Yeah.
But she's so cute.
She's a cutie. She's basically a tiny willow. I honestly don't even know the podcast. I don't really talk about them on the podcast, but for anyone that doesn't know, I had a cat. I still have her. She's alive and well. I have
the way you said that, you're like, I still have a cat.
I have a cat, Willow, and this new kitten that I just got is basically like tiny Willow. Like she looks
with whiskers. Okay, granted, Willow has whiskers, but I mean like she's black.
Boots. She has boots.
She has little booties, little mittens, and then she's like black. Sorry, I'm taking over. But she's like black, and then she's got like little white whiskers that come off, of course, like where her mouth is, but like also her eyebrows.
I would love to grab her and show you guys, but I'm not gonna do that.
She would eat the cords.
Yeah.
Or play with them.
But yeah, I got a kitten and now I have two. So I told everyone in my life, I was like, don't let me look at the Humane Society website ever again. Don't show it to me. Like my friend like literally follows it on Instagram. I was like, unfollow. Don't show me anything. I'm never going back. I can't be trusted. I can't be. Like
You're gonna become a crazy cat lady.
No, I don't want this for myself. And it's so funny thinking back because I was such a
you need a corgi.
Yes. If I ever get another animal, it's going to be a dog. I'm saying this now. I'm not getting another cat. Mm-hmm. Because if you have more than two cats, no shame to you at all. But it's like, especially with where I'm at right now, I'm about to be 25. I'm still in an apartment, which like for cats is fine, but it is a small space. Mm-hmm. And I have no business having more than 2 cats. Like that, I've reached my limit. I'm at capacity. Like,
I think you could probably get another one.
no.
I think so.
No, we've reached the limit, and we will not be going back to the shelter because it's dangerous territory over there. But
I know. I just need to train my dog and then wait till she's like she.
And then you need to get a kitty.
He's okay with cats, I think.
I think you, especially because he's so young.
Yeah, but the thing is
Milo.
I definitely think that I would wait until he's a little bit older to introduce a cat because like he's a puppy.
Yeah.
And like a kitten and a puppy, like I just am afraid that he would play too rough. Granted, like I'm sure the cat, like I would not declaw. Like the cat's gonna have claws, especially with a dog around. But I don't know. I mean, but at the same time, I could say, you know, wait when he's or do it when he's young. So like he likes cats. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, also I didn't even say the name. Her name is Hayes. Reason for that is in the shelter her name was Hazelnut. But we didn't want to keep Hazelnut, but we wanted it to be somewhat tied to Taylor Swift.
Oh my gosh.
And somewhat tied to like nature, because Willow. So Hazel, Hazelnut, hazel trees, like whatever. So Haze instead of Hazel. And Lavender Haze from Taylor Swift. So, but I keep going back and forth because I'm not completely set on it. I like the name Haze and I like the name Haze and Willow together. But Haze doesn't roll off the tongue very easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like Willow is just such a like Willow, like it's just, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
Haze doesn't feel the same. So
you should go for like another W name.
I have no idea what that would be though. The other alternative options were Indy, Ivy, SD.
I don't like SD.
Okay. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, I'm being opinionated.
I think that was it.
I think that's the only one I don't think I like how it comes off my tongue. Like ST. No.
SD.
Oh, SD.
SD.
ST.
Yeah, but you don't say like ST. You say like SD.
SD.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would be like ST, like S and then T. But I get it. I don't know. I mean, if you think about it, like Sarah's dog name is Milo, mine's is Moose, and my family's dog is Maggie.
Yeah.
We stick with the
I
like the
actually
M's.
didn't put that together.
Yeah, I think that's like somehow like unconsciously like we just like similar names.
I did want her name to be Boots because she has like
Stop. I love Boots.
I love it too. It's the cutest one by far, and it definitely rolls off the tongue. But Willow and Boots don't go together. So I'm having a rough time.
That's so cute.
But Boots is adorable. But it's also like really basic.
But they don't have to go together. Or do you want them to go together?
I want them to go together. Like
I think you should go for a W name.
But like what?
I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
If you have any advice, let me know.
Drop W names down below, okay?
Or any name.
I think a W name though.
Anyways, all right. How was your New Year's?
It was good. Spent it with friends. Went to like a bar, up in I think it was like Cornelius Huntersville area.
Was that Lake?
No, it was not. But they had a band that was like the rock and roll, and it was actually very fun. And then I ended up having to go back early to let Moose out because he can't be crated that long.
Life of a mother.
I know. Single mother. What can you do?
Life is over as you know it.
I know. I will say though, like I do have to do things differently now. Like just spending time differently. Like I can't stay out that long.
Even now I feel guilty that you've been here for like a couple hours, you know. I'm like, get out the door.
My sister's home, so she'll let him out. So anyways, but still I want to go snuggle with him.
Okay.
So bad. Rude. But anyways, it was good. How about you?
Mine was good. I feel like this year wasn't giving going out to me. I don't know if anyone else can relate. I just feel like I wanted to be in and I wanted to be with people. I was invited to like a house party of sorts, but it was with a lot of people I didn't really know. This is not your invite, by the way.
Oh, okay.
That would have been really funny. No, this is
like, is she talking shit right in front of me?
No. Our friend was thinking about having something, but it was going to be with like a lot of her boyfriend's friends and just, you know, anyways. And I think that would have been fun, but I was really feeling like just staying in and, you know, being with like my close friends and just, I don't know. I wanted it to be chill this year. So we just went to our friend's place and we had like a game night, we
Mhm.
made drinks, and just hung out, and it was really chill. And that's exactly what I wanted. So wasn't anything crazy, but I had fun.
That's kind of nice though. I think I saw a TikTok and it was like ranking of like how much fun certain things would be for like New Year's or Christmas and birthdays and stuff like that. And for New Year's, like some guy had ranked it as like a house party is number one.
It is.
And then like going to the downtown bars is like last.
It is.
And because it's nice, you have all your friends there, it's fun, you get to stay in, you get to drink, you don't have to worry about, well, unless you're driving home, but as you don't have to worry about driving home, you just crash there. You don't
Yeah.
have to worry about drunk drivers.
I would say a house
So
party is always preferred over going out for me.
it depends. Mine, it depends. There's some nights where I want to go out. Like I need to get out of the house.
Yeah.
And just to get a change of scenery. And I'm like, let's go have a few drinks. But granted, we do that and that's North Italia. And I want that right now. But I want their Caesar salad. I'm always hungry. Anyways, sorry. Interjection. I think North Italia just needs to sponsor us at this point because we do so much free marketing for them.
And so shop.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, everyone feels this way, but New Year's Eve is so hyped up for like no reason. It's never fun. Like, I mean, maybe this is just me. You probably have had great times and you're over here like, what? But I feel like I've never had like a really good New Year's. I've never had like a memorable, like that was so much fun. Like I just,
Well, I think it's just because everyone hypes it up and it's like
it's hyped
you
up
need
so
to have
much.
like the biggest bash
And
and
if-
you need to dress like so like fancy and sparkly and blah blah and then need to
Yeah.
have a boy or a girl to kiss on New Year's. Because if you don't, then you're gonna be single forever and you're a loser. Sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. Because I feel like when I was like I'm not kidding because, well, I say that because when I was younger, I thought it was like the end of the world. I always thought that like I never had a New Year's Eve kiss.
I've never had one.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, no, sorry, no, I know. I'm just like, I'm like intentionally like roasting you.
I
And
know.
I'm not meaning to. I was thinking quicker
I
than I'm
didn't eat
saying.
grapes under the table last year.
Did you wear red underwear?
No.
A
I don't even think
suitcase?
I own red underwear. What was
Like you have to go walk the suitcase up and down the road
What?
for traveling.
For traveling?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
like to travel like that year. Like you want to go on trips and stuff.
Oh, what? I've only ever heard the grapes one. What's the underwear one?
It's like you wear different color underwear for different reasons. Like
What's red?
red is like love and stuff. And then blue is like health and wellness, I think. Or green, I can't remember.
I don't even know what I'm wearing right now. Doesn't matter because it's not New Year's Eve. But.
Yeah. But anyways, I just never had like a kiss when I was younger in like high school. I thought I was like, oh my God. I'm so
How many
happy.
have you had?
I haven't had any.
You haven't had a New Year's kiss?
No, this was like the first year technically.
Oh, you had one this year?
Yeah. It was anticlimactic because I was home and watching movies, so it wasn't like anything crazy. Like I was in a bar being like, oh my God, Happy New Year.
But you got one. This was your first one.
Yeah.
I've never had one, and I don't know. It's that's not even why I say I haven't had a memorable New Year's, because that's not necessarily what makes it memorable. It's just like I've had fun times with friends. It's just like nothing has ever lived up to what you want it to be. Like you think it's gonna be like the best night of the year. It's gonna be so much fun, and
Yeah.
it's hyped up. And then if like one thing goes wrong, which like it normally always does, like it's like
Or-
ruined. And,
Yeah, it's or it's like you're
or like
not
if
having
the,
as much
if the
fun.
group isn't like perfect, or
You don't love your outfit.
vibes are
Yeah.
off. Like it's I don't know. There's so many expectations and it never.
I think I've started to like actually put my New Year's expectations like down here.
No, you have to, because like there's plenty of times where like we've just hung out with friends and like gone to a house party or gone out or just had fun like in a group that isn't New Year's related,
Mhm.
and it was so much fun. But then when you try to like do something for New Year's, it's just automatically like
I mean, I want to throw like a house party. It just didn't end up happening this year because everyone's going every which direction. But like, I want to throw like a themed or like everyone wears black or something, and like everyone just have a good time and at my apartment and stuff like that. I think that would be great.
I love a themed
But-
party.
I know.
That's an in for me in 2024.
Really, I want more of those. I should.
I
put
love
those.
like dinner parties, themed parties.
Okay, well, am I
game
invited
nights,
to these?
Like all of that, I'm so into.
Okay,
And I
well-
like
Am I
planning
invited to
them.
these?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Because I want to go.
okay. Well,
Because
that's
none of my
cute. That
friends
means
don't
it's
do
gonna
like
be
theme stuff.
A good year for you because you got a New Year's kiss. I'm totally kidding.
It better.
But starting on a good note.
That is true.
Didn't get one last year, so start
That
out
is
a better
true.
note already.
There we go. We're
And
looking at
you had a
positively.
puppy with you. Like, honestly, vibes couldn't have been better.
Yeah,
I know
well, he
you-
did take a shit. So on my floor.
Okay.
So
Well,
besides that, everything was fine.
well. Anyways, we hope you guys had a great holiday. If you celebrate, we hope that you had a great New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and I think we can go ahead and get into the rest of the episode.
I mean, we kind of started it like when we first started the episode,
Yeah.
kind of like started it, and then we're like, all right, let's
I mean, you guys
let's
already-
actually do our intro.
You guys definitely already know what it's going to be about, but this is going to be the ultimate New Year's episode. We want to cover our ins and outs. We want to cover not necessarily our goals, but more so how we're preparing for the new year, what it looks like for us when we are setting our goals or thinking about where we want to be within the next 12 months. We also want to talk about how sometimes you feel overwhelmed with all of this change that you all of a sudden want to make in your life and where to start, how that can be uncomfortable and how to get through that. So there's a lot of things we want to touch on in this episode, but the first thing that I wanted to touch on is ins and outs. And I know that you were kind of not really feeling this.
So, okay, well, first, let me clarify, okay?
Actually, that's not the first thing I want to touch on, but
Okay.
continue.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, so when we were talking about ideas like for this episode, she was like, well, do you want to do ins and outs or like our goals or something like that? And I think that's like for us, it is great, but it's not so beneficial to you guys to know our goals or like what we're doing. And she was like, I mean, when I said this idea, she was like, eh. So we kind of combined a lot in this
combined a
episode.
lot.
So that's why it's called the ultimate
But I
episode.
think it'll be good. I think it'll be helpful.
Oh, for sure. But I wanted to make this a little bit more supportive or like educational. Educational, this is not school, but
Also, don't take anything we say seriously.
yeah. I mean, come on. It's just us two. But anyways, it just like learn how to set goals or like where do you even start? Like what do you think of? Because I feel like that for a lot of people like that's hard. And of course, maybe you guys want to know our goals and you love us and you want to know what like our personal goals are. But I think for people that not I would say maybe don't know us personally, maybe they need help being like, okay, so how do I set a goal? And how do I actually set a goal that I want to achieve? Or like, and these are the things that I sent Kaylee. So that's why I was like, I don't necessarily know how to do ins and outs, but I did write some down.
Perfect.
Because I do want to touch on, I was gonna say, I do want to touch some things that I want to do differently in the new year, but I didn't like go in depth with it. I literally wrote down things that I didn't like and things that I liked. And it's like 7 things for each.
That's fine. I only did a couple.
Yeah,
But
I was about to say I can rattle them off.
before we even get to that, I am curious because I feel like we did this last year in our New Year's episode. I could be wrong, and I think I know what mine was. I have no idea what yours was.
I have a horrible memory, so I don't remember anything.
But I think that we should set a word for the new year. Like a word that we want this year to revolve around. And I think last year mine was abundance.
Do you feel like you reflected that?
In some ways, yes. I feel
Mhm.
like not necessarily an abundance in opportunities. And I think that's how I went into the year thinking about it
Mhm.
and thinking about how I was going to be flooded with all these opportunities and all these offers. And I don't even know what for, but just, in life. And I feel
Mhm.
like that's not necessarily how things played out, but I feel like I took a lot of steps to start initiatives that I wanted to, like in anything, like in hobbies, in side hustles, in my career, in relationships. Like, wasn't like the most abundant, but like there was some growth there.
I don't remember what my word was.
I don't either. But regardless, I want you to set one for this year. And I can go first if you need time to think.
I have a word, but it's on the tip of my tongue and I can't think. It's not. It starts with a D. Discipline. Sorry. She's like, I don't know. So granted, I may change this, but this is right off the top of my head. I haven't thought about it. But I think I liked discipline because I don't think I was very disciplined this year.
I like that word.
But also, like, I kind of also want to be like open-minded. Like I felt like I was so closed-minded this year. Like something didn't happen my way. I was like, oh my gosh, it's awful. Or like something did happen to me and I just like closed off or something like that. So I don't know. But for me, like I think there's things that I want to do that I didn't do last year because I just was lazy. And I just,
Yeah.
like I said, I feel like I just coasted throughout the year. I genuinely feel like that was what my
You just
my
lived.
2023. Yeah, I
You
just
You
existed.
just existed. That's
Yeah,
okay.
it was like when we say filler episode, it was a filler episode for me. I just existed. Like there was just so much shit. So I think for me, that's the word I'm going to use, just because I feel like there's things that I actually want to do this year, and I want to do them, and I want to have the dedication and the consistency, not consistency. Is it that the word? Not the consistency. Be consistent. Consistency is like food. Anyways,
Consistency is food.
no, that's not what I meant. Not what I meant. Sorry.
Consistency is
That was like an ADHD brain moment where like
that was the I was hungry coming out.
yeah, and then I was
like texture. Is that what
thank you. See what I mean? She gets me
Consistency is food.
because like it was thinking in my head and I couldn't vocalize it. Anyways, that's why she does the descriptions for
That's why
episodes.
I write
And
everything. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, no. I'm just the facial expressions.
She's the ad-lib.
She's the brains.
Okay, no, I like that word. I think that's good because I feel like that fits exactly with what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you can't be open-minded or, change your gears a little bit, but
like course correct if something happens.
yeah, but like there's things you want to get done and you're like, let's stop making excuses and just
Mhm.
do the dang thing. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Like, sorry, this is just an example. Like, I want to do like a coffee shop eventually. If you guys know me, like that's what I want to do. Last year, I kept just saying it. Like, I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this.
You are not a thinker.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I just want to do it.
That's how I feel like my year was. I finally stopped being just a thinker, and I was like, I did a little bit of something.
Oh, now you make me
Didn't
feel
do
like
a lot of doing, but I did a little bit of doing.
That's good, but you made me feel like not in a bad way. But I'm like, like you're like
And then you're like,
because like you'd be like, I filed for an LLC and I did this, and I'm over here like,
I just want you to
I'm
know,
eating.
I just want you to know how literally simple that is. Like, I did not
But
do
it's
a lot.
It's a step because
Also, anything that involves just like paying for something, like sign me up. Like I'm there. I'm good.
take my money.
Yeah, I'm like, that's the easiest thing for me to do is swipe my cards. So wasn't a lot of
Fair enough. But like, no, you took steps. Like you created a logo. Like you
Sure.
did things for yourself where I'm like, oh, I want to do this. But then I just like sit and wait for it to happen. Or at least this year, that's what I did. So this year I want to be different. Like I want to go for it.
Well, that's how I always felt. I was like, I literally just wait for, we've talked about this. I'm like, I wait for like life to hand me things. And life was never handing me things. And I was like, well, I'm not really getting anywhere. So
no, life
this
was
is
like,
a
I'm going to
boring-
hand you stuff, but like, it's not good stuff.
yeah, I'm like, this
Like-
is a boring season. The watchers are getting disinterested. Like we need some pizzazz. Like we need to start doing things.
Yeah.
So, okay, I like that word. Mine, I was thinking about this earlier, and I honestly feel like this is a bad word, but it's growth.
Growth?
Yes.
Why is that a bad word?
Because it's very basic, but I say that because I feel like I've planted the seed.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, this is about to be a metaphor.
Okay.
Because, like, planting the seed, growing. Sorry. Sorry. I feel like I've planted the seed for a lot of the things that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I've kind of seen the beginning stages of things. Like, and I'm not just talking about, like, the business, even
Yeah.
though that is a great example, but, like, the podcast. Like, we've planted the seed. We've kind of started doing the things that we wanted to do. Of course, there's more that we can do, but we've started.
Mm-hmm.
Even in, like, relationships, like, I've kind of put myself out there more this year than any other year. And
I agree.
didn't work in my favor, but like, I feel like I'm just in a better place than I was because of the experiences that I have gone through. Or the things
You
that
seem
I've
more
started.
confident to me.
Yeah. I
Not
agree.
in the sense of like, oh my gosh, like rejection, like because sometimes you can internalize that, but I feel like you
Yeah.
feel more confident where if something doesn't work out, you're like, okay, I mean it sucks, but like
I'm getting better
Okay.
at being like, that was just how it was gonna happen. And
or like he's not for me. Like
yeah, but not even in just relationships, like literally anything. I just feel like I've put in some of the groundwork for things and I'm starting to make my life what I want it. It's not there 100% by any means, but I'm starting.
That's good.
And I just want this year to be a continuation of all of that.
Mhm.
And I want to see it grow like exponentially. It doesn't have to be, I made it in all of my goals, or I'm, now successful in this area, this area, this area. But like, I just want to see what I've started become something, whether that is my business or whether that is putting myself out there more and meeting new people, maybe a relationship, maybe the podcast growing, like just,
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a really good word to encompass like all of my goals in one. My goals are literally just a continuation of 2023, but just to continue with what I'm doing and do more of it and see where I get.
I think that's a great word. I mean, it can be cheesy.
It's cheesy
because everyone's like growth, But
I don't even mean like self-development wise, just like
continue what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm like I just want to,
grow.
I just want to grow. I want to grow in height too, but it won't happen.
Yep, I feel that. I want to stop growing out. I just want to stop growing out. Anyways. Carry on.
I was like, why do you feel that way? I was like, you're tall. You're like, no.
Out. Those Christmas cookies got me.
Oh, yeah. Don't even talk to me about that. Okay, so I guess we kind of touched on this, but like, I guess just overall, how are you feeling going into the new year? I know you kind of said like, you're not necessarily like excited.
I just feel like I haven't had the time to like get myself mentally there. Yeah. I think I'm going to be excited.
Don't force it either.
Well, see, no, here's the thing. I think that it's not that I want to force it. I think that it's like I actually want to sit down and do it. So I have the motivation to do it. But it's really hard to do that throughout the week when I'm working. And then I'm also trying to, train a dog and stuff like that. So I do feel like I don't have the capacity for it right now. But like this weekend, I don't necessarily have plans. So I just want to like do like a little self-care day, like go get a massage and then come home and like play some music and like either, throw on like Friends in the background and like kind of doodle or something, just so I can get myself in the space. And then of course I want to reflect and be like, what do I actually want to do with this year? And so I think that like, I definitely have the enthusiasm to be like, okay, well, these are the goals like that I want to do and blah, blah, blah. But I think I just like haven't had the time to like spend like 2 hours with myself to like reflect on how the year went and like dig deep of like what is like I would say there's a couple aspects of my life that I'm not happy with,
but I want to change them. You're not like that though.
What, to sit and reflect?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I sit and reflect for like 2 hours. I think for me, it's I sit down and I'm like, what do I feel unhappy with?
And like, I don't even mean that in a negative way. It's just like I feel like you're not like
I don't like dwelling in my
Let me dive into the past and see what I can do differently. Like,
it's more of like, how do I feel? I go off based off my feeling. Like, what aspects do I not like in my life? Like right now, like if I wanted to get a job that's a little bit more, I don't know, work-life balance. I don't know. That like that's something to think about. But I think in that aspect. But I think that like to me, like I'm not gonna sit down and be like, so this happened in January, this happened in March, this happened, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not going to do that. I think it's more of like, where am I at in this moment? What do I not like? Maybe why I don't like it. Like, for example, if I'm working from home all the time and I want to be around people more, do I want like a hybrid job? And if so, what would that look like to me? Like that kind of thing. Not necessarily being like, this is what went wrong. What could I have done differently to fix it? I think I'm just going to be like, take it with a grain of salt. This is what I learned. This is what I'm like liking and not liking. How do I carry that into the new year?
Yeah. So I like that. I feel like I had like I said, I normally go much deeper. I didn't this year, but it just felt like a continuation year in the best way possible. So I didn't need to dive that deep. I also will say that I didn't have quite as hard of a year as you, so not as much to unpack. But I did go through, because I write down my goals. You don't do that, right?
You've made me start writing down my goals.
Well, I said that my personal goal for you in the new year is to use your notes app, because you stay not using that thing.
Me?
Yeah. You're always like, what are the podcast topics?
I might actually need those used. I need you to put them in.
We need a
Can you
shared
share the
A
note?
shared note.
Thank you.
Shared
Because
note.
like you'll text me it and then I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I need to put that in the notes. And then we'll start texting about it and then I forget to do it. And then because she like you keep building on it.
Yeah.
Like topics. So I just need you to share the note with me. And because I do use my notes app not for typing and journaling and stuff like that, only for like to-do lists. That is
No, I know.
really only what I use it for.
I was talking about this with my friends. My notes app is literally a brain dump of everything I think about. Like, I am such a thinker at night. I just stay awake, like, thinking about things. And my friends are like, Lydia, I have never had a thought ever. And I'm like, I've had lots. And my notes are insane. Like, they're just so long of like random words, random ideas, random thoughts, like me writing things, lists of things, ideas of like, it is crazy.
I don't do that.
It is
Mine's like
crazy up in there.
stuff that I
Like,
need to remember.
I'll just show you.
Like codes or whatever. And then it's to-do lists. I have 1,000,001 to-do lists.
This list started as things that I wanted to do in December of 2022. And it then went on to goals of 2023, big and small. And it is just now a brain dump of every thought I've ever had in my life. And I have way more notes than that. That's just that.
Oh
And
my
then
gosh.
These are all notes too. Like, I'm, if anyone ever got a hold of my notes app,
Done.
I'm done.
I mean, maybe for me with my passcodes. I need to not do that. But I will say anything
And I don't
you'll
even
probably
use my
just
notes app for like useful things like that. I don't
That's
even
so
have
funny.
passcodes or anything in there. Like, it's literally all just my brain.
Mine's literally mine's to-do list. It's pack, laundry, grocery shop, blah blah blah. I have a to-do list I have to do tomorrow. For tomorrow. And I'm like, that's all I do. And then I forget to write them. So I have like 5 different to-do lists of like get apples, pack bathing suit. I don't know. It's so random. I don't know.
Where are you going? Where you need a bathing suit?
I am dressing up in a bikini eating apples. That's it. I don't know. It's so random. So that's my little crutch.
Well, I did write down my goals for 2023. So I went back and kind of looked at the things that I did, the things I didn't do. And this kind of goes into like how you can prepare, but just really quickly, because we're talking about it, really all I did was look at the things that I didn't accomplish and kind of reassess whether they're still important to me.
Mhm.
And if they are, then I didn't even make a new goals list. I just kept the one I had from last year. And I was like, okay, I know that I want to work on this, this, and this.
Mhm.
And, you know, like I said, I'm having a continuation year. So maybe I want to work more at this, but I'm not going to set like concrete goals with it. I'm just going to like leave it as a broad topic. And then some of the other things that I didn't do that were smaller, like fucking morning routine.
Not the fucking morning routine.
Being a morning person, didn't get there, but fingers crossed. I'm like, is that still important? And I'm like, yes, it is. So then I kind of think more into like, okay, how can I actually do this in the new year? But anyways, ins and outs. We're now circling back to ins and outs.
Okay. Do you want me to go through mine?
I would love for you to.
Okay.
Do your ins first. I'll do my ins.
I was gonna say I'm gonna just keep it pretty short, just because like I really don't need to dive into deep about these. But ins is drinking more water because I don't drink enough water. I put doing a self-care activity. I do some self-care stuff, but you do a lot of like the activities, like the facials, the massages, things like that. I don't actually do those. And I have been wanting a massage.
You don't need to though.
But you don't need to. But I think every once in a while, like I need it. Like I will impulse buy something that's not needed. But like I've been wanting a massage.
You want to like redirect your money. Like maybe don't get a bag, but get like a massage.
That's another thing I said. That's in my outs is impulse spending.
That's mine too.
Yeah. So I want to do more self-care stuff. Not that it's a need. I need to do it every week or even every month, but just little things that I know I would enjoy, like a facial or a massage. Like if I'm buying a purse that I don't need, I can redirect that to putting like to a service like a massage. I've been wanting a massage first, like I swear to God, I think 2-3 years. And I just don't do it because I'm like, oh, it's expensive. But then like I'll go to TJ Maxx and I drop $100 on things I don't need.
Yeah. And you're like, that could have been a massage right there.
So the ins is like doing an actual self-care activity. And I've never gotten a facial before in my life. And I'm like, I want to do that.
Well, if you ever need recommendations for anywhere in Charlotte, hit me up.
Well, you know I will do that.
Because I have all of them.
I was like, I will ask you.
I have so many.
And then journaling is one. I don't like journaling. I'm not very good at it. I don't really like it.
See, that's silly to me. Why is that in if you don't like it? Don't force
Because
yourself.
I think, but I'm not trying to force myself, but the thing is what I think is happening is I don't like to journal and like write down my feelings or anything like that in that matter or in that sense. But what happens is I keep it all in my head and it gets very jumbled.
Hmm.
So instead of, I'm not going to force myself to like, dear diary, blah, 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 which I usually used to make myself do.
Dear diary.
I used to do that. And then I'm like, I would reread it and I'm like, this is disgusting. But what I want to do is like, just learn to write down things. Like, you know how like you in your notes app, you just type things, like it could be whatever. I just want to write down things. Like if it's a to-do list, like write it down. If it's something that I'm thinking about that I want to do, write it down. So I'm not like
Okay.
forgetting about it because I feel like I have short-term memory loss or whatever it is. And so like the goals that I want to do in the beginning of the year, I just forget about. And so that's just an example. But I mean, like, if there's something that I'm feeling that I want to talk to my therapist about, by the time therapy comes around, I forgot like what I want to talk about.
I used to keep a running list of like therapy notes.
So that's what I mean. It's
Because
just, like,
sometimes like it seems so bad in the moment or you're having like a low day and then you get over it and then you're like, that's not important to
Yeah.
talk about, but like it is.
yeah,
That's a very niche example, but like, you know.
no, that's exactly how I am. So it's when I say journaling, it's just writing down things. I don't need to journal before bed, or in the mornings. Just I'm trying to give myself a little bit grace of just kind of doing it naturally. So something in that line. And then tea. I want to drink more tea. I feel like I just get lazy making
Water
it, but
and tea.
and then
Tea over coffee or just tea in general?
I think tea over coffee. I do like coffee, and I think like if we went to go get a coffee, like I would do that. But I think at home, I just want like I think just tea would be so much better for me. It's water. It's not coffee in the morning. Like I don't eat in the morning, so like I think it'd be healthier for me.
Technically, you make coffee with water too.
Okay, facts, but it's not like caffeine. I would
Yes,
give like
tea has caffeine.
well, I was gonna uncaffeinated tea,
Oh.
but and then I want to do new workout classes, just try different things like Pilates and like cycling.
See
I
what
just
you
try to
like,
mix it
yeah.
up. Yeah. And then working from a coffee shop, which we're going to do this week, but changing scenery because I work from home all the time. Granted, I have a dog now, so it's a little bit different, but I want to be able to go to places and do things because I just feel like it makes me more motivated. Daily walks, which is kind of like I'm already checking off the box with Moose. But another thing, when I think our last episode, we were talking about how like we don't go outside some days.
Yeah.
And I'm not
I didn't go outside
exercising.
today.
Literally.
Once.
Yeah. So I was out like 8 times today because I have to let him out like every 30 minutes. Okay, more than that then. But anyways, so that's something that I wanted to do and like take him on a walk.
Yeah.
And then one last thing is taking things at face value is something that I want to do. I overthink like a motherfucker. Like everything I'm like, and I do it with you. I'm like, are you okay? What's
Oh,
wrong?
that's what you mean.
But I mean, that's just a part of it. I mean, like if someone tells me something, I just want to take it at face value. I exhaust myself because I'm like, let's dive deeper. What's behind that? What's motivating them? Like, why are they doing this? I'm always doing the whys and the whats and hows. And I'm thinking so much that I think I just weigh myself down with it. So for me, and it's something like I was talking to my sister about too, but like in a relationship too, like it's just, I feel like you just start to overthink things. And I want to be able to be like, you say you're fine, you know? And then
like have the trust that someone will tell you if they're not.
Yes. And I think that
and if they don't tell you, then it's not your problem.
And then I overthink because I'm like, I should be like, oh my God, what's wrong? Tell me.
Well, I feel
I'm
like
there
you need
for
to
you.
fix too. It's like overthinking, but also like I need to fix if something's going wrong because that's
Yes.
obviously childhood.
And well, the thing is I think like for example, if you're like, I'm not okay, I'm like, is it me? Is it me? Like it's something I can do. Like I start to freak out and I take it personally, but it's not about me. It's about how you feel. Unless if there's something that I did, but then it's your job to talk to me about it. Right. Like I can be like, do you want to talk about it? And you say no. I'm like, okay. But
you can be like me and you can be like, sit down, we're talking.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's times where I can do that, you know, and I feel like I should recognize
I'm
when
like,
to
no,
do
Emily,
that.
we're talking.
That is true. She did do that to me today.
But it wasn't about us. It was just
stuff. We haven't caught up, but
just chitty chitty bang bang.
Not the chitty chitty bang bang.
Not the chitty chitty bang.
But yeah, so that's what I mean is like I want to be able to just start doing that so I can trust myself. And if someone like has an issue with me and doesn't want to talk about it, I'm always like, no, like that's so bad. Like I'm gonna die. But like I need to be like, okay, well, if they have a problem, they don't want to talk to me about it, like, that's not my fault.
Yeah.
That sounds
I actually really
and
like
it
that.
sounds bad, like, when I say it, but
I
it's a
think
good
that's
thing.
the best one on your list.
I
Like,
know that one
drinking
was deep.
water and being hydrated is great, but like that will help you a lot.
Yeah. Like, it's some things taking care of myself, like, health related, and it's things that I want to do, like, for mental health, and that one was the one that I'm, like, really working on. So, your ins.
All right, rapid fire. My first in is to stop waiting for the weekends.
That's a good one.
That kind of goes hand in hand with
Living.
Well, living, yeah. Taking advantage of the time. I mean, like we've talked about before, Emily and I both work from home. So, like, I texted her and I was like, let's just go to a coffee shop this week and, like, get a change of scenery. Like, to me, that is an example of, like, not waiting for the weekends. Like, yes, we're still working, but, like, we get to go out of our apartments and be together. We get to work in a coffee shop. Maybe we'll get a little treat, a little croissant, a little coffee. You know, like
A little coffee.
So, yeah, you guys know what I mean when I say that, but that's the first one. Second one is food before coffee.
You do need to do that.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to say this as a joke, but, like, it's not cute to drink coffee and take your antidepressants and call it a day. Like, it's not cute. Let's stop making it a cute little thing, because it's not. I never thought that it was, but I unintentionally do this to myself, where I just do not fuel my body in the way that I need to, especially in the mornings, because I'm just not hungry when I wake up, and then I immediately have coffee because I'm tired and I'm starting work in my day and I want a little bit of boost of energy, but then that's an appetite suppressant, so then I don't have breakfast and I just have lunch at like 1, and that's awful. That's, you crash the end of the day, you get a headache, you are messing with your nervous system. Like, I'm sure it messes with all kinds of things. Like, I'm sure my skin freaks out, I'm sure my body freaks out, and there's so many benefits to having food and water before you fuel your body with caffeine. So that is something that I want to do. Using social media purely for scrapbook purposes is another in for me. And I said this because I was having a conversation the other day with my friend, and he was like, I love you, if you're listening, Jimmy, but he was like, should I post this? Like, what should the caption be? Like, oh no, that's kind of weird. What if people don't get it? And, like, obviously he doesn't actually care. Like, this is not coming for him, but, like, it's funny because, like, I'll do the same thing. Like, I'll be like, will people even, like, think this is weird? Like, should I put this on my story? Should I not? I don't know. I feel like, especially as you get older, you start to care less about social media in general and what people think of you. But at the same time, I will say it's always in the back of your mind a little bit. Like, I feel like we still, even if it's subconsciously, and maybe I'm just speaking for myself, I don't want to make a generalization, but for myself, I know that subconsciously I'm still kind of posting for a reason other than myself.
Oh, I mean, 1,010%.
You know, like,
same thing for me.
It's not that I'm necessarily looking for anything. I'm not looking for validation. I'm not looking for, people to necessarily, like, comment or like it. It's just, sometimes I am, sure, but, like, it's like, why am I posting this picture of myself? Like, I know sometimes it's not just because I like the picture and I want to store it somewhere. It's because I want people to see it.
Yeah.
And, like, there's just that piece of social media that it has that hold on you, and that's why people, like, tend to not just post something without a caption, like, because why do I care what I caption in my picture? You do it because people are going to see it and like it and respond to it in a way. And so I think that's perfectly fine, but I think I just want to use social media, whether it be Instagram, whether it be TikTok, whether it be YouTube, like, anything. I just want to use it purely to, like, record my life. For me to look back on, be a scrapbook of sorts, and hold memories. Or, I mean, obviously that's what a camera roll is for too, but, like, that's why I like making, like, videos, because it's a different way to go back and view your life at a certain point in time. And you can do that with pictures too. So, yeah, that's
a good one. Sorry, I'm yawning.
That's one. The next one is routines. I put in parentheses monthly routines, cleaning routines, morning, night routines. Like, I just want to be in a routine.
I need to do that
this year. And I don't want to be super strict with myself, but I feel like I need a bit of structure. I feel like I do really well with structure. I always have,
I do too. I do really good with structure, and when I don't have structure,
yeah, No,
Yeah.
like I feel like when we were in school, we had that structure of kind of what our day would look like. Even when we're working, we have a structure of what our day's gonna look like. And I know that I'm more productive when I have that basis for something. And so I want that in my life, even for the most mundane things as cleaning. Like I want something where I'm like every 2 weeks I'm gonna clean my sheets. And I just know on Sunday I'm cleaning my sheets every 2 weeks or whatever it is. I'm vacuuming every Sunday or I'm vacuuming every Monday or I'm doing laundry in this day. Like I just or morning and night routines or just anything. I just want things to hold me accountable, I guess. I want that to become a pattern and a habit in itself. Last one, all of my friends are going to disagree with this one, but I said the do not disturb status is in.
I be staying on that.
Okay.
But you need to be able, like, I will say, I have it set to where, like, if you need to get a hold of me, you can call me multiple times and then it will go through. Yours be staying on, like, it does not go through at all. And, like, I was trying to get here and then the parking deck, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I'm supposed to go. I snuck up here and I'm not supposed to be, like, where her parking deck is. I just snuck up here and I'm not supposed to be there. And now it's a whole big issue to go back down. But could have been avoided if I could have gotten through. But it's okay. But I say you should change that. But I think it's a good thing, honestly. I think it, like, I feel less like I hear my phone go off and I'm like, what's that? What's that?
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like I'm checking my phone less.
It has taken the emphasis off of my phone. Like I used to be someone that was glued to their phone. I would be always on social media. I would always be on something if I'm bored. I would always be like waiting for someone to text me back. Like not even in like a that way, but just in general. I feel like I was just very obsessed with my phone, and like my family would always joke like you can't sit through a movie without being on your phone. And like I would say that changed before I even started with the do not disturb because I started it because of work. But I like the peace that it brings. I just do. I like looking at it when I want to look at it and not just because like I'm getting a bunch of notifications about something. Or I know it's not necessarily always a good thing because like sometimes people do need to get a hold of you or like maybe there's an emergency, God forbid. And like that piece of it all does kind of stay in my mind. But at the same time, like I like having peace.
You don't feel like pressure to check your phone as soon as something comes in.
Yeah,
I think that's for me.
Because if it's there and I see it and I get a text, I'm more inclined to like be like, okay, even if I don't mean this in a mean way. Like it's not like if my friend texts me, I'm like, ugh. But like sometimes you just want to like chill and watch a movie and you're like, I don't feel like talking to anybody, or I don't feel like dealing with a phone call right now or something. But you feel obligated if something comes through and you see it, and so that's just a way of shutting it out. Sorry, maybe that's rude, maybe it's not, but
no, I agree. I was just giving you a hard time, but I mean, my friends get on me about it now too because I always stay on do not disturb. Like I think it's just for me. I think it gives me a peace of mind of like I'm gonna get to my phone when I get to it.
Yeah.
So it makes you feel a little bit more in control and you're not like so addicted to the thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, was that all your
rapid fire outs?
Rapid fire outs, and you guys know this one, impulse spending. I'm gonna say Snapchat, which I'm probably behind the times because
you're way behind the times.
But
I have not had that
in the sense of like, well, I'm afraid to delete it because of like all the memories and stuff that I have on it. Oh. And I would say as of now, like I
also used it more than me.
Yeah, I would say like Snapchat was like the main like thing that I used, and I would say I'm weeding out of it. I would say like this year I used Snapchat significantly less than I've had in the past. Like I don't keep streaks very much. I think maybe like one or two. And for me, it's more of like, yeah, I'll post a picture on there every now and again, but it's more of like the memories, like, because I like that they do pop up every like day or so. And I'm like, oh, I didn't remember that. I totally forgot that like that happened. Yeah. Granted, some of them could be an X or something. And I'm like, ooh. But like, I kind of like it that it pops up and does that. So I have it for that reason, but I eventually want to be able to delete it and then like move away from it. Cause I just, like, I don't use it that much anymore. Yeah. But like, I get so hyper focused. I'm like, oh my gosh, like all the memories and blah, blah, blah. But, and then stressing over little things. This kind of goes with like the taking things at face value. Like I just created so much stress to myself this year. I'm like, I need to just not, but easier said than done. And then I always said, always needing to have everything planned. I think for me, whenever I go do something, I'm like, when, where, what, blah, 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 who's going? Or even so, like, I'll plan something. And then if it doesn't go according to plan, I get so flustered. so like like when New Year's plans changed, changed for me. I was like, I don't like this. I blah 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 blah, and it just like I could have been like, okay, well let's go with the flow, you know.
Right.
So being a little bit more
I am not a go.
open-minded.
I am a little. No.
See,
Sorry.
I'm not. I'm very much like I like to know everything about what's going on, like how to dress and I just need to like just go with it. And then last thing is for me, I said laziness / excuses. Like I feel like for this year, which for some reasons or for some things were out of my control, but I felt that I was just coasting. I wasn't actually putting the effort in, like active effort. I think I was just existing. And I think a lot of things that I wanted to do, I just was like, "Ugh, I don't have the time for that, or I don't have the money." Like I just made excuses and I was just like waiting for it to happen.
Yeah.
So this year I wanted like, and this is gonna be cheesy, but so beware.
Beware.
It's like I want to grab like the bull by the horns.
Okay.
Versus just like standing there. Like I want to be able to take charge because this year I felt like everything was so much like out of my control.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I get that. Okay, rapid fire for my outs. Mindless spending.
Mm-hmm.
Your girl be spending way too much money. Judging or talking shit.
Okay.
And I literally mean that in like, not that I'm over here having an issue with like talking shit about a bunch of people, but like I literally mean that in like I see someone on the street and like judge them for a split second for whatever reason. Like I don't even want to have the space in my head for that.
Yeah.
I don't want to give a fuck what anyone's doing because like who am I to, I mean, it's hard to like.
I like to people watch. That's the thing.
I do too, and it's hard to not have a thought because sometimes it just pops into your head, and we have these preconceived notions about how things should be, or you know, we look at things based on like how we feel they should look, or you know, whatever. But I want to do my best to have a very open mind, and I do. I am not a judgmental person.
I was about to say you're usually pretty good about that, but I know what you mean. I feel like for me,
you can almost be better at it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a judgmental person by any means. I'm not over here talking shit about people, but like,
I mean, you're human.
I'm human. Like if something makes me upset, like we all do it. Like we'll all like chitty bang bang about something, or I love to say. Sorry, anyways. Okay, I said I wasn't gonna explain. Judging or talking shit. Feeling sorry for ourselves. We're not doing that. No victim mentality in 2024.
That's a good one.
People pleasing.
I need to put that one on mine.
And over apologizing.
I also need to put that on mine.
And that's my outs.
Those are really good.
There you have it.
I think those are really good to focus on. Hard. Because it's like a habit to do those things sometimes. But
those are probably the things that I like least about myself. So those are going to be difficult because it's just in my nature to do some of those things. But
yeah,
we need to rewire.
I agree. Okay.
So now that we've gone through the ins and outs, this is definitely a lot longer than we had anticipated. But
as always,
we're going to wrap it up with a few things. So now that you're feeling inspired with the ins and outs of 2024, now you have to set your goals. Maybe you already did this because that kind of goes hand in hand with ins and outs. But for me, like I said already, I've already touched on it, but yesterday I kind of had my whole day where I reflected on the goals that I set for the previous year and what I accomplished, what I didn't accomplish. But it's not a tip, but like my number one thing that I like to do for the new year is I don't necessarily need to make a vision board. I love the concept. And if that helps you to visually see it, I think I am a visual learner, so like writing down my goals or seeing them in pictures is nice for me. But I like to go on Pinterest. And even if it's not to make a vision board per se, it's just to get inspo for things. And the biggest example is like, for me, I said I wanted to focus on routines, right? And so don't get me wrong, like in 2023, I definitely had a whole board of like all these pictures that spoke to me about something, like maybe it was a couple, maybe it was a trip to New York, you know, whatever it was. And I would definitely put that in a folder and, you know, refer to it from time to time. But like those things don't necessarily mean that much to me because it's like I already know in the back of my mind, like, yeah, I want a relationship. Yeah, I want to travel, like whatever. So that's not always the most helpful. What I like to do is find things. I just go to Pinterest, but you can go to wherever. But one of my goals was to set a routine. And so literally I can show you on my phone, I have screenshots of ideas for like a working from home morning routine. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Like it's just a time blocked morning routine. Doesn't mean I'm going to follow this to a T. but it's a stepping stone. It is a
I feel
starting
like it
point.
gets you in the mindset, like, you're like, "Ooh, like, this is cool," like, you start to get that motivation,
Yeah.
but 2, it's like, sometimes you just don't know where to start with goals, and that's something that I mentioned is that sometimes we get caught up in these massive goals that we want for ourselves, but we don't know how to start them. We don't know how to break them down into smaller steps. So, like, you're like, I want to do like a routine for the morning. I want to be able on a schedule to like change sheets and laundry and blah, blah, blah. It's hard to do that all in one go, all in one week, and
Also,
not stay consistent.
and it's hard to do that, like, I know this is gonna sound silly, but it's hard to do that just from, like, your own brain of, like, I don't know, like, this people might not be able to relate, and maybe this sounds really stupid saying it out loud, but, like, this is a new thing that I'm trying, like, I didn't used to do this, but in me saying I want a morning routine, I didn't even know what that looked like. I just
Mm.
said that I wanted a morning routine, but I was like, "But what do I even wanna do in the morning? When do I even
Yeah.
want to wake up, and what's the first thing that I do? What are the things I don't do?" Like, what is actually not just a cute little montage and actually gonna help me prepare for the day and actually be
Yeah.
beneficial for me? Like, I didn't know what
Well,
that
it's
looked
it's
like.
the motivation in the sense of like, for example, like when you come into a new job, right? Maybe this company has been around for 20 plus years and they're doing the same thing over and over again. But then someone comes in and makes a process so much more efficient. It's just like having like you're using outside things that like your brain, you've been writing your goals down every year, right? You've been making vision boards, you've been doing what you do for a while. But this year you're like, I want to change it up. And these ways, it doesn't mean that your old ways were bad. It just means that something else that someone had an idea with is just a new thing to you could work so much better. So
Yeah.
it's getting the inspiration in the sense of like not just pictures or like, oh my gosh, like this really makes me want to get to do stuff. It's also, oh, that's a new idea I didn't even think to do or something like that. I think that's what you're saying.
No, it is. I have them for all types of things. I literally have, like, a Sunday reset list, I have a morning routine checklist, I have like what you should consider at the start of a month. I have self discovery things like night routines, cleaning, like you name it. And that's, of course, just for routines. Like there's more things I want to focus on that don't pertain to this. But,
Hmm.
maybe it's like a business plan. You just look at a business plan, it's not going to be yours.
And like for someone who's never started a business, how would you know what a good business plan looks like?
Right.
You
And
look
like,
and you look at a template.
exactly. They're templates, and it's not something I'm going to follow to a T. It's something that I'm going to use as a basis and kind of see what I like, what I don't like. And when I'm feeling that sense of being overwhelmed, which I get very easily, that's kind of the one of the uncomfortable parts of change or setting goals for the new year is that we try to jam pack it all in.
Hmm.
And it can be overwhelming because we feel like we need to just completely change our lives and make it exactly how we want it to look. And we can't do that overnight. And so for me, something to help with the overwhelming feelings that come with setting goals and not knowing where to start is finding that starting point in, inspo from other people. And it doesn't even have to be like a photo on Pinterest. Like as much as I don't like to compare to other people on social media, I do find that watching like day in my life vlogs or something like that, I can take inspo from that and be like,
Hmm.
okay, that's how they spent their morning. That's what they did on their work from home day. Like, they went to a coffee shop. It gives you ideas of what you can do to be more productive or what you can do to
Hmm.
start the goals that you're looking to start. And I know these are very niche goals, so it doesn't pertain to everybody,
Hmm.
but I like having that starting point or that idea that someone else gives you when you're feeling overwhelmed and you don't know where to start.
I agree.
And kind of just going into the other uncomfortable parts of change, that's something that we wanted to talk about as well. Not knowing where to start and feeling overwhelmed is definitely one of them. For me, being discouraged when you don't get immediate results is another.
Hmm.
And I honestly don't have the best advice on how to combat that because I feel like it's just a perspective change, it's just a mindset shift. And it just comes with time because I was always an all or nothing person. And so if I didn't stick to my goals for a week straight, or okay, let's say I did it Monday through Wednesday and then Thursday I crash and burn and I'm not doing it. I'm like, then
Yeah.
why even continue? I'll just make the rest of the week a cheat week. I won't work out,
Yep.
I won't eat healthy, I won't do this. We'll start again on Monday. And I have just over time rewired my brain to just be like, no, let's just pick it up again tomorrow, or let's pick it up again. Like maybe you had a cheat lunch meal, but just pick it up for dinner.
Yeah.
Just eat a healthy dinner. Or You didn't work out for one day. That's okay. Don't cry about it. It's gonna be fine. Like,
Well, the thing is, like, you have to remind yourself, we're not, you're not, or just we're not a robot. Like, we can't do
yeah,
something perfect every single day and blah, blah, blah. Like, things, we're human. Like, we're alive. We're going to want different things each day. We're going to be more tired one day than we are the next. So it's like, you have to be able to give yourself a little bit of grace. So I think I understand when you say that.
yeah, and it's like we're learning every day, and we set these goals thinking that we want our life to look like a certain way, but maybe in time we change our mind, and that's not actually a goal anymore that we have. That's okay too.
That is okay too.
I, you're not going to see results immediately for whatever it is. Not even a physical result. It's anything, and you need to find enjoyment in the process and in the journey. That sounds so cheesy, but it's true. Like, you just need to find enjoyment in the little day-to-day things that are adding up to that goal. So, maybe I want this great morning routine, but like, when I'm thinking about it, it's not even getting there yet. It's just enjoying the little things that I do for myself in the morning. Like, it's just focusing on one thing little by little, and then eventually it'll form into like a habit, or you'll reach your larger goal. Another challenge with the new year and goals is when the initial motivation wears off. Obviously, this happens for everybody in the new year because it gives us this reason to feel very motivated, and then a couple months go by, a couple weeks go by, and we kind of fall off. But in general, even without the new year, I experience this all the time. I go through like surges of motivation where I'm ready to put in the work, I'm ready to do everything, and then a week goes by and I'm tired,
Yeah.
like maybe something goes wrong in my life. Maybe I'm down in the dumps about something. Maybe I'm just not feeling the best physically, and that motivation goes out the window. And that's life. You know what I mean? Like, that is literally life. And
Well, that's where my word comes in, to be disciplined. Also recognize
yes,
where it's that you're not pushing yourself too much.
yeah,
So where it's unhealthy, but sometimes you just kind of have to, like, either bite the bullet or pull up your britches, and you'd say, you know what? I'm exhausted today. I don't want to go to the gym. Instead of going to the gym for an hour, let's go just walk on the treadmill for 30 minutes. So
that's true.
it's trying to be consistent even when it's hard. But like I said, listen to your body. Like, don't push yourself to where it's it's overkill. But I think that's where it's like that word comes in, is like, you want to be able to consistently do things and not be so up down, hot cold, that kind of thing.
Oh, for sure. You don't want to be making excuses all the time, but I also think when you're going into a new year, when you're going into setting a goal or trying out a new habit or something, you have to kind of just know in the back of your mind that it's not going to go to plan every single day, and that there's going to be times where the motivation wears off. You need to find things that help you get back to that sooner rather than later. That's different for everybody. But it's also just natural, and a lot of us go through that. So, also giving yourself grace. Lastly, I don't know if you have anything, but lastly, I wanted to touch on what to focus on to start implementing change at a broad level. If you're like, I don't know my goals, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do, this is a very easy way, a very like quick checklist, gut check that you can do with yourself to just, and also, you don't have to set any fucking goals if you don't want to. Like, you don't have to.
There you go.
Like, I feel like everyone puts an emphasis on that in 2020 or in 2024, in the new year. But I have friends that are like, nah, I don't have any. And I'm like, that's totally fine. Like, my therapist literally told me to stop setting so many goals. So maybe I'm doing something wrong. So, like, literally, if you don't want to set any, totally fine too. But if you do and you don't know where to start, this is helpful. For me, what I like to do is look at things in like buckets or categories. So I look at all the big things in my life, all the big categories, and I just think of like the biggest pain point for all of those. That's corporate lingo, but
I got it. We talk about that in my job too.
I like to look at all of the, like, something I want to work on in each area. So I wrote down a couple as an example, whether it's your career, whether it's a relationship or a friendship, whether it's mental well-being or physical health, finances, any of those things. You can kind of do a gut check on all of these categories in your life, the big things, and be like, okay, maybe I want to save X amount. Maybe I didn't save that much the year before and I just want to save. Maybe you don't even have to get as granular as an amount. Maybe you just say, I just want to open a Roth. I just want to save more this year.
Mhm.
Keep it broad, you know? Maybe I want to make an effort to go on more dates this year. Maybe I want to meet more people by starting, or not starting, but joining more like organizations or something. Maybe I want to look for a new job. Maybe I want to work on this in my career, whatever it is. But I feel like doing a little gut check in these categories,
Mhm.
I definitely get more granular with it, but you don't have to. And that's an easy way to kind of see like where you're unhappy and the areas that you want to work on. Last thing, going into it, what?
No, I'm just listening. I'm literally listening.
I feel like I'm out of breath. I'm like, okay, last thing. But actual last thing. I feel like when you're looking at a year's worth of goals, it's a lot to process and it kind of goes hand in hand with feeling overwhelmed. And I definitely like to like bombard myself with like all the things I want to change about myself, which is probably not the healthiest. So honestly, I would challenge you guys to just take it month by month rather than a year's worth of goals. That's something that I started doing in 2023. And I would say, what are like 4 or 5 goals that I have for January? Or what's one goal I have for January?
Yeah.
What's one thing I just want to work on in January? And you don't have to set a time limit. You don't have to be like, by the end of January, I need to meet this thing. Like, it's not even that. It's just, what's something easy that I can start this month that's not going to be
Mhm.
too much effort, that's not going to be too demanding, just something that I can do, something that's like top of mind for me right now, whatever. And you just keep going little by little, and then you make big change.
Big change.
Big change over here. So that's everything. This episode's really long, and I'm scared that the camera's going to shut off. So I love you guys. I hope you have the best year ever. Do you have anything? Because I'm just like, I'm like, oh, let's wrap it up.
Well, I guess I'll just close with this. I think that you were correct that we get into the habit of. Sorry, you are correct. What if I said it was like you're incorrect? I don't
I
believe
actually
anything
think you're
saying.
incorrect, and
I don't think I believe
camera
anything you're
shuts
saying.
off.
I think that we do fall into the societal thing of making 1,000 goals and being like, we need to lose weight, or like, I just know the weight one is just so stereotypical
Yeah.
and like gym and blah blah blah, and it's like maybe right now it's you don't have, not to say that you don't have goals, but it's okay to take a breather from the holidays and be like, I'm not in a headspace to think about goals right now. I got a lot going on. And so take with what we're saying, of course, with a grain of salt, as we always say, but two, and like she said, it is take things in small doses. For me, I'm like, oh, I want to own a coffee shop. You're not going to own a coffee shop overnight. What do you like? What's the logo? What's the title? Like, what would the menu? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different tiny things. Like, where? First of all, where do you even know how to make coffee? So it's like baby steps. So I'm not being like, all right, I need to own a coffee shop by the end of the year. That may not happen. I'm working a full-time job. I am a mother. So I got to be able to like, okay, this may not happen in a year, but I can take a coffee making class. I can watch a podcast or a video on how somebody starts a business or something like that. So it's not like you have to be like, all right, I'm going to make this massive goal. Like you can break it down into small, like bites that are digestible. So that's the train. It's saying that, I don't know if you heard it, but it's saying that we should.
It's saying that we gotta go. So we love you guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope you have a great 2024, and we will talk to you soon.
I would say happy 2024. We saw you last year. We'll see you this year, and hopefully many more years to come. That was so cute. Bye.
Bye, guys.